My name is Enrique Pardo, and I co-direct with Linda Wise an organization, really, a cultural organization and theater company called Panthéâtre, which is based in France. Half in Paris and half in the south of France in a place called Malherargues, which is called also the Roy Hart International Artistic Center. Panthéâtre was created in 1981-82, and it was the first company who emerged out of a big group that followed a man and who was directed by this man called Roy Hart, one of the great figures of the 60s and 70s in theater. His biggest specialization was the voice. The work of Panthéâtre takes this fundamental voice work, which was a revolution to some degrees in theater. Panthéâtre took this voice work into what I today call choreographic theater, which includes the voice, includes a lot of movement, dance, and a very special relationship of how to include text and acting in, you could say, dance theater, that kind of work. That's the specialization, and that's what we are showing here or teaching here in Brasília, choreographic theater and voice performance.
But did he tell you how it began? Because Pan is the god that is half goat and half human. And Enrique was in this company, Roy Hart Theatre, which specializes in voice. And at a certain moment, he started a work on this god Pan, who is a Greek god, and inspired by a book called Pan and the Nightmare, which is written by James Hillman, who is the president or the honorary president of Panthéâtre, and he is the founder of archetypal psychology. I've been teaching many years. I've been teaching since I was 24. I'm over 60 now, so it's many years. And for me, teaching is like it's been part of the whole artistic process. For me to be a teacher is no different than if I'm directing, or I think it's as important. I love teaching, and I teach many different kinds of people. Not only professionals, I also work with non-professionals and sometimes with people with problems and psychoanalysts. So for me it's a very important. How can I say? It's my contribution to to share something that I've learned, and but I feel for me it's a creative thing. It's not like I'm passing information, but I'm trying to work creatively with people.
Well, here we are Linda Wise and I have 2 hours every day, so she's concentrating on voice and voice performance and singing, and I am concentrating on 4 days, you could say, on an introduction of choreographic theater. 4 days is a short time to introduce a very complex work, because yesterday, for instance, I was explaining all the levels of poetic disassociation. How do you use your voice with text, with dance? How do you move from dance to text? All the different forms of disassociation. It's complex work. So here we are basically doing an introduction. In France, we do 2 different forms of training, professional training. Every year we do a 6-week professional workshop, intense, 6 hours a day. And that's the biggest training we do.
To have a voice is also not literally to be able to speak or to sing. To have a voice is to have your place in the world and to be able to find your place in the world. Of course, it literally means to be able to voice what you have to say. And I think one of the main things that we're working with is how to give someone who comes to work with you, how to give them a voice where they can speak and say what they need to say and express themselves in this world. And it's very interesting because in terms of the process, we know a lot of things about the voice now, physically, but almost very often people come to me and they say, I don't know where my voice is. And it's also a very mysterious thing, and it's a very personal thing. So working with the voice is like going to the person and trying to find out who is this person and where it's not literally just the sounds they make. And you cannot, for me anyway, I cannot work on the voice just technically. If I'm working with the person. So if I worked with your voice, I would need to get to know who you are, and because so many things influence the voice. You know, if you have something very bad happening in your life, you lose your voice.